Masechet Beitza on Daf Lamed Zayin Omed Beis, just by the wide lines. Itmar Shnaim Shaloku Chovis, just by the wide lines. Itmar. We were learning yesterday about there's what we call a Rovei Tchumin. A Rovei Tchumin, a person who is living in the year in the city, he could come. The person could walk 2,000 amo lechol ruach. If he wants to walk beyond the 2,000 amo, so there's what's called a Rovei Tchumin. A Rovei Tchumin is koine shvisa. Koine shvisa, when is it? Kshekidash hayom. We explained yesterday the term of kshekidash hayom is knisas hashabbos, knisas hayom tov at that time. And not only the person himself, it depends, he could 2,000 amo, over 2,000 amo. Not only the person himself, behemoth, kelim belong to a person. It's also under this ragle habaylim. You could also bailim who walk 2,000 amo, walk 2,000 amo. The deal is when the person walks 2,000 amo. So let's say he done his eir with a tzad doring. So the tzad suffering, he loses his 2,000 amo with the derech because he wants to walk 4,000 amo le tzad doring to the south. So now to the north, he loses his. And we spoke yesterday, the end of the shir, about a chaluk, right? A garment that two people take b'shutfus from, right? They borrow it for the shutfus. So it goes keragle shneim itma. Let's see the Gemara inside. Itma. Shnaim shelokhu chovis. Ubeima. Ubeima means other obeima. Doesn't mean both. Or obeima. B'shutfus. And this is talking about erev yontev. So when it's kiddush hayoim, shekidash hayoim, it was by these two people, the chovis, the barrel, or the beima b'shutfus, erev yontev. Now they took a menas that on Yom Tov they're going to divide between the two of them, and they divided between them on Yom Tov. There's a machlokas amoraim if each and one of them could take his chelik. Now after they divided, to everywhere he goes, keragli bailim. Now I'm the only bailim, right? Erev Yom Tov we were two shutfin. Reuven and Shimon were two shutfin. Now on Yom Tov, after they divided the shutfus, what's going to be the din? It goes kiragli abaylim now on Yom Tov, or it's going to go what happened on Knisas HaShabbos, on Knisas HaYom Tov, on Shekidash Hayoim, on Erev Yom Tov. Like any other shutfin, it's kiragli shneim. Says the Gemara, Rav Omar Chovis Muteres. Each and one of these shutfin could take it. Wherever he goes. Ubeima asura. The beima is different. Beima is also to go to everywhere. Just inside the tchum, what both of them could go. Ushmulomar, chovis name asura. A chovis also should be also to go everywhere. Just inside the tchum, what both of them could walk. Now, what's the reason? So very shortly, the din as we can see about in a second is the taking the chovis or with the water inside the chovis depends on the thing what's called yesh breire, einen breire. Do we say huvra radomo lemafreya? How? Al yedei the chaluka, as we said, they done the chaluka went on Yom Tov. Do we say huvra radomo lemafreya? Al yedei the chaluka that the chelek, the kind of reshus of each and one of them was lemafreya already to him when yesterday shekidash hayoim. As we said, the point is kiddush hayoim. They say yesterday when it was already kiddush hayoim, them also who adam afreya, and then it would belong to Reuven, the chovis. Then it belonged to Shimon, the beima, because now on Yom Tov when they divided, Reuven takes the chovis and Shimon takes the beima. We say kiddush hayoim. That means on a yesterday when Yom Tov came in, Reuven belonged to him the chovis, and Shimon belonged to him the beima. Hold on. That's the machloikas. That's what I the Gemara and the Taz machloikas. The Gemara.
Can I just check? So I'm very sorry to be very finicky. When we talk about the chovis, are we really talking about the contents of the chovis?
The chovis, yes. So we're talking about over here the chovis with the water.
Wine.
So I'm going to get some of the. One person gets some of the water, and the other person gets the rest. Half each the water.
Yeah, we're dividing the chovis. Yeah, I just said the lesaber zoyzna. I said the chovis and the beima, but it's the chovis itself they're dividing.
The contents of the chovis.
The contents of the chovis. Yeah. So the Gemara wants to depend the machlokes of yesh breire or en breire. The Gemara fragt of Rab, Maiko sovar, Maiko sovar, Iko sovar, yesh breire, afilu beima tishtere. Rav said, chovis muteres, beima asura. Why? If you say yesh breire, so we should be matir to each and one to take the beima, his chelik in the beima. Why? Because huva adon afreya that shekidash hayoim, this was his chelik. So he was koine shvisa wherever he was kidash hayoim. Veiko sovar ein breire, afilu chovis name asura. Why? Because when it was kidash hayoim, could be that his chelik will eventually go to the reshus of Reuben, what belongs to Shimon, or to Shimon, belongs to Reuben. Yeah. So how could we koine shvisa? Explains the Gemara. Lefi Rav the gate azoi. Leoinam kosovar yesh breire. Rav alt yesh breire. So we understand the din of the chovis. The chovis is muteres. Why? Because yesh breire. And if Reuben gets his chelik in the chovis, we say huva adonam afreya. That was always his chelik. He could carry it as much as he walks, and as much as he was going to shvisa of Yom Tov. Why we said it's different than beime? Shani beime. Beime does not help a breire. Why? Because the beime, all of the limbs have a unique. That means they are like a unique in a karka, the unique of the beima, right? From one to the other one. So let's say they divided the beima on Yom Tov, they shechted the beima, they divided the beima. But till the time when they divided the beima, all of the ivorim were yoinek from each other. All of the ivorim are actually coming and taking a koyach from each other, right? As long as the day, up to the chalukah. Up to the chalukah. Kumtois. This Eva, let's talk about a certain limb, yeah, who came to the chelik of Reuven, let's say. He was going to be boyd yoim, shvise, but it also has the chelik of the Shimon, because it was yoinek, right? For that reason itself, we say you shouldn't come and take this Eva itself to a place that you're allowed to, both of them to walk. What's up, shot? Let's take for example. That's Pashtas the Sugya. Yeah, Pashtas the Sugya is, let's say, they dividing now the beima on Yom Tov. Erev Yom Tov, both of them own a beima together. Erev Yom Tov. Shekidash Hayom, as we call it. Yeah, Kridas Yom Tov, both of them own together beima. The next morning, 12 o'clock on Yom Tov, no, Sudas Yom Tov is going to be in a few hours. They shecht the beima. One of them takes the ribs, and one of them takes the leg. The one that takes the ribs, we tell him, I could walk, he done, let's say, the Eruv Letzad Dorim. The other one done the Eruv Letzad Tzofin. They could not leave at all, right? The Yazizan Mekoima should be. They could only schlep it in this place, inside the city, but not out. Because the one that done the Tzofin, he done the 2,000 Namul Letzad Tzofin. The one that done the Dorim, done it 2,000 Namul Letzad Dorim, and this is what we learned yesterday, Lo Yazizan Mekoima. Over here, we say, why? Even at Yesh Breira. Because Yesh Breira, that this chelik, let's say the ribs always belong to Reuben. And let's say the back leg always belong to Shimon. But up to 12 o'clock in the afternoon on Yom Tov, the ribs got koyach from the legs, and the legs got koyach from the ribs. They have a unique, right? The unique, now, the unique is, in a way we can call it, it's poigim in the breira. It's poigim in the breira. Because they are dependent on each other. So this is a very interesting thing. What does the unique of it? The unique is poigim in the breira, or the unique is not poigim in the breira. The unique is poigim only, that means it does fasachison only in the carrying the beina. So in the ran over here, the lashon ran is koyanke tchumin. That means part of the beima, the oroi to both of the tchumin, because they take. So even though that yesh breira, the yanke me'adot that they take the koyach from, because the ribs can't live without the part of, let's say, the heart, or the heart can't live without the liver, everything. And so everyone takes from his friend. That means from when the beima was still existing, everyone took from his friend, and it's yoinek zemizeh. But from Lashon Rashi is interesting, because the Lashon Rashi is If you look at the Lashon Rashi, let's see the Lashon Rashi. Says Rashi as well. Dibo Amaschil, Shnayim Shelok Chumer of Yontev, Lechalkom beyontev. Chovis muteres loilich kolechot chelko lemokoim sheirev, ubeim asura lehoilich elo lemokoim sheshneim oilchin. Afilu chovis asura. De'ein breira, ויש לו אימר, חלק שבו לזה, או יורוי לחברוי, ובין השמושס קונו חלק זה, שביסס חברוי. So what Rashi is saying over here, the ain, right, the ain brera, ויש לו אימר חלק שבו לזה, יורוי לחברוי, ובין השמושס קונו חלק זה, שביסס חברוי. לא אילון כוסובר, יש בררה, אילקה חוביס מותרת זה שייני ואימר, שאוי יסור בחיים בין השמושס, וכל איבו ואו, בחיי יוינקים זה מזה, משחשיך יונה כל עבר ועבר משל חברוי, ואין כאן ליברוי. What means ואין כאן ליברוי? Pashtes, what means ואין כאן ליברוי? The last word that Rashi will read it. ואין כאן ליברוי. What's Pashtes the word ואין כאן ליברוי? Because the behemoth is, as we just said, they are yoinek the evoring one from the other one. And that's what he say. The tchumim of this behemoth, keilu they are mixed one with the other one, and it can't be in it breder. Why does not be the berov? Lefi Rashi, there's a lot of shaylas lefi Rashi. But that's is over here, Masha and Rashi, the Rashba frekt of Rashi, the Meiri b'shem Chachmei Adoris frekt of Rashi. There's many shaylas of Rashi. But let's see the Gemara weiter.
One of the should feed the animal, the whole animal is doing it from the animal's food.
You can feed the animal, but over here is the behemoth itself. What are you coming and doing?
Behemoth.
He is.
Shvisa comes from the barrel. Has its own shvisa, or shvisa go after the barrel.
Oh, you're right. So let's say what review the fact. Let's just want to clarify this. What's the pshat over here? What's the pshat? When we come and say, just go over the Lashon of the Gemara, yeah? Itmar, Shnayim Shalok Chovis, Bebeimo, Beshutfus, Ravami, Rav Omar Chovis, Muteres Bebeimo Asuro, Shmuel Omar Chovis, Nam Asuro, Michael Sovar says the Gemara, Kosovar, Yesh Brera, Ein Brera says the Gemara, Loilon Kosovar, Yesh Brera, Veshan Yebeime, the Koyan Ketchumim Adom. The pshat is, as we said in the Mishnah. What we said in the Mishnah, Kli, or Be'ema, right? Or Be'ema, Vakeni, Keragle Abayni, the Koine Shvisa by a person in the beginning of Shabbos, in the middle of Shabbos, he comes in, let's say in the middle of Shabbos, the bilis of the Kli of the Be'ema moves one to the other person. What's the thing? We said, Lafi, the kvirs of the Ragle Habaylim, whoever Bailim on Erev Yom Tov, as we call it, Shekida Shayoim. The same Shaila says the Gemara, Legabe two shutfin, a barrel of wine, and part of the Chovis and Yom Tov, right? The Rav says, Easter Brere, and we say, Huvra Adoval Mafreya, that this Chelek what belongs to Reuven, who plays that Erev Yom Tov, what belongs to him. Shmuel says, no, there's no Brere, we have to be a Chashash that maybe the Chelek that the friend took belonged with the other one was going to Shvisa by his friend, but Nashmosh says, you cannot come and take it out. You cannot take it out from the tchum of his friend. Even though that yesh brera, but he's more that the baby is also because the koyan ke me'adod, right? As we see on Rashi, shekol yivoreo bechayeo, the loss of Rashi, right? Yoinkim mizeh, and so even though yesh brera, huveru that the chelek, this chelek was belonged to him. There is a Gemara in Lamed Chesed base, where we can see Mat Hashem. The Gemara is Tazoi. The Gemara comes and says Tazoi. That it helps a din of bittul berov in tchumin. What that means? Let's say money of Reuven got mixed with money of Shimon. Yeah, money. We're talking about mammon. So money of Reuven mixed with money of Shimon. So if roiv of the money or roiv of the chayfetz is in the bailis of Reuven, that helps bittul berov. Also legabe the isur tchumin and the chelek of Shimon is this button the chelek Reuven. Even it doesn't help a bittul legabe the din mammon shaboy, because we know that mammon loy botil, right? Mammon is not botil. Legabe the mammon shaboy is not going to be botil, but legabe the isur tchumin we say no, it's going to help the bittul berov like any other din of bittul berov. So over here, the same thing. Even it's Yan Ke'adode, yeah, this is what you mentioned, this is what you're asking. Even it's Yan Ke'adode, Ober, it should be bottled by Roiv. Because Rov of the Baal Oiver, let's call it. Yeah, Reuben now is Baal Oiver of the heart. Shimon is the Baal Oiver of the a different part, yeah? So you should come and take it, because I'm the Baal Oiver. Roiv is not Yoinik, the heart is not Roinik Yoiv of his things in the liver. And the liver is not Yoinik Roiv of his Yanikas, Chayas, and the heart, right? So if it belongs the heart to Reuben and the liver to Shimon, okay. Reuben should take the heart where Raglov, as long as he can walk. Why don't we say Bittul Baroy?
Also, there's no hakpodah between Reuven and Shimon, Bechlal, on the
It doesn't matter.
No, and it's not something they divide anyway. They don't divide the dam or the chius of the thing. They divide the bosso and that's somos. They're not interested in anything else. And they know jolly well that when Yom Tov comes in, we divide this between us. Reuven has half the animal, and Shimon has the other half of the animal. The chius is something which just keeps it fresh, keeps it going, but that's not chelik of what they're eating, of what they're going to divide.
If it would talk about Hakpodah, you're right. If you talk about Hakpodah, you're right. But it's not talking about that. It's not dependent on Hakpodah. Over here, it's the deen of the Masechet. It goes Keragle Abayim, where it was Koine Shvisa. It was Koine Shvisa. So the Tzlach wants to say very interesting thing that this is called the Dover Shesh Matirin. Because let's say there is a place where both of them could schlep it, could carry it. Yeah? There is a place. That is a Dover Shesh Matirin. Okay, it's a bit schwer of them. The Tzlach himself asked from a Furosh of the Chaber, as Shincho. Let's see the Gemara right.
I don't have something on the pshat. I don't have something on the pshat.
Of course.
If somebody owns an animal, right, and he wants to shept it on Yom Tov, that's okay, right? It doesn't matter. And then if he wants to move it with 2,000 amos, he can do it, yes? So what? So I don't understand. If you got shutfers, and they're both owning this animal, they decide now, right, we want to shept our animal. So what is the problem? Why does it have to go back to Erev Yom Tov? Why do we say now? We're shepting it right now, and we'll split the animal right now. And then each one can take his part right now. So each one is getting his share of the animal straight away. And he can go 2,000 numbers with his, and he can go 2,000 numbers. Why are we saying that you've got to go back to Erev Yom Tov in the Shvisa? It's irrelevant. Why do you have to go backwards? Why don't you do it now? We're shifting now.
Because the takone of, as we said in the Mishnah, if you go back to the Mishnah, what we said, right? What that means, what the Mishnah tells us, also be'ime, exactly, so the be'ime also goes keragle abayim.
Right, so what? So I'm now on
is the takone the Rabbanon, we know Tchumin. And when the Rabbanon done the takone of Tchumin, they said when a person is koine shvise, when shekida shayoim, that's knisas hayom, we follow knisas hayom, we follow the kida shayoim.
I'm sorry, I still don't get it. If you own an animal oneself, want to have your own animal, it's okay. You can shut that one in Yom Tov and take it where you want, right?
Yes, because the whole thing belonged to
him,
myself or
anyone. So during Yom Tov, you're shutfers, you both own it. It's still owned by Reuven and Shimon are still owning it all the way through. It's still shutfers. Right, now this is ours. I want to shut it now. Fine, shecht it now, split it now. Don't start going mafreya, mafreya, and all this. It's ours. It's our animal. We're shechting it on Yom Tov. Yours is your half, here's my half. Let's go, take it where you want. It's ours. Well,
that's what the Gemara says. Yanke Adode. You're right, and that's what the Gemara says. If Rav says Yesh Breire, exactly your taina. That's exactly your taina if you say Yesh Breire, and for the Gemara because the Yanke Adode.
And so what?
Exactly the Yanka Adode.
So meaning you're saying that the part of it isn't yours.
This chelik and Erev Yom Tov
wasn't yours
either. From the other chelik.
Always.
This is a Yerushalmi.
To me, the easy pshat of what Rashi means is that Yesh Breire is a big chidush l'maaseh. It's a huge chidush. You say uvar mafreya, but it has to work in a way that if you got a barrel of wine. If you wanted on Erev Yom Tov to share the wine, you take the wine, you split half and half, and you can say that I could have done it Erev Yom Tov, and what I didn't do Erev Yom Tov, I'm doing Yom Tov itself. I'm afraid of what I could have done. But the behemoth who is alive, you couldn't share on Erev Yom Tov, because Yanke Adode.
Yes, you can.
Yanke Adode means it's alive. Yanke Adode, you can't share it Erev Yom Tov. That's a Yanka Adon.
No, he's right. Rabbi Yitzchak is right. There is a very interesting, I don't want really to go into it. There's a very interesting Someach. Someach in Shkolim, Perek Gimel Aloche Daled, he brings the reason of Rav, he wants to explain the fear Yerushalmi. The Yerushalmi in Dmai, Perek Vov, the Yerushalmi says, over there, the Gemara is talking about Omar Rabbi Yochanan, Omar, I don't remember exactly, Omar Rabbi Yochanan. He says over there that the Machloikis over there is only Sodet Bekomoso. Avol, if he has the Cholku Amorim, what if he has Amorim? Amorim is bundles. So also over there, Gamliel is also moide that in every kelach means every stalk of the shutras. So when the keilu is koitzeret, and why? Because the reason is because when it changed, Nishtana Adova that was in the shutras of both of them, when it was belonged to him, also he was part of it. Meikore, the same thing also before, and the Beime was Mechayim, belonged to both of them. They're just dividing it now, Le'ivorim. So how can we say Breire that this was his chelik of each and one? So the Someach over there actually comes and says, it's very, Mamish this Svore, he thinks that maybe that's a pshat of Rav, and the effect of Rav. So he says that the Muchach over here, that the Bavli Bayos does not agree to this Svore of the Yerushalmi, Ayin Shom, but he says there is a disagreement over here between them. Okay, let's I think it's a particular difficult sugya, not difficult, but there's a few comments of a very interesting words of this sugya. Let's see the Gemara weiter. Look the Gemara. So the Yanke Adode, we understand the Yanke Adode, they could not schlep it each one his own way. Says the Gemara. So once we said that Yesh Breire and the Rav, even that Yesh Breire, the Yanke Tchumim Adode, for the Gemara Amrele. So Rav Kane, the Ravasi, of Regen of Rav, the Rav. The Rav, the Shitosoi that the Yanike of is also the Tchumin, right? The Yanike of the part, the heart or the liver or the thing. Leisu Mukze Loi Chosheshu. The Aser Yanike. Leisu Tchumin Chosheshu. Where do we find that Leisu they were Choshesh for Isu Mukze, they were not Choshesh of the Isu Tchumin? The Pshat does it. If you come and you're telling me that every Aver gets the din of also the other Aver that it was yonik from. So if we took the example, the heart and the liver, each one was yonik from the other one. You should have come and say you could not carry the beime at all. Why? Because the chelik of each one of them is muktzeh klapi chaveiro, klapi the other person. Because when, let's say Reuven taking the heart, he was maktzeh daitoi from the liver. And let's say Shimon is taking the liver, he was maktzeh daitoi from the heart. After they divide, also if they divided, and each one comes to take his chelik, Reuven comes to take the heart, Shimon comes to take the liver, you should answer this and tiltul muktzeh, right? Tiltul muktzeh. What are you going to say? It was yonik, my chelik chaveiro, that my chelik chaveiro is muktzeh. For Reuven, the chelik of Shimon is muktzeh. For Shimon, the chelik of Reuven is muktzeh. Because Reuven, he set aside his mind from the chelik of Shimon. And Shimon set aside his mind, right? Because you say that Legabi Muktzeh is no problem. Why Legabi Tchumi? You say there's a problem. Yes, Rabeli.
I think you come into your house, you can offer me food and nothing.
Oh. Also ich frage alle Rishonim of Rashi. What we said is Rashi. You look at Rashi, Dibur Amaschil, Leisu Muktzeh lo yichosheshu. Anan Sade dechol chad minayu, aktzeh daite mechelko shel chaveiroi. ואם היו רוצים לאוכלו כאן, אינו אסור עליהם, משום מוקצה לא עם הכל חלק יונק מחבר, ויש כאן מוקצה לא יליחו מי שתתחומו יתו איסר עליהם, מפני, כי כזו אם יש לו חוצה, לא חושב, הוא מגישו מוקצה. זה ממש דברות, ותמיסה מילה במילה פרשי. פרקט רב אלי, and alle Rishonim fragen us, we don't find that sort of muktzeh, that something that's mutter for his friend, it's going to be also for him. Right? If you go to a friend to eat on Yom Tov, it's going to be also. What's allowed for the bailim is mutter, also for the friend of the bailim. You have a telachon, that's mutter for yourself, and it's mutter also for your friend of yours. So why should it be also? We don't say, it's going to be also to my friend because he was maktzeh daite from the chelik of chaveiroi. Alle Rishonim fragen, from the toises over here, alle fragen us. Yeah. I will maktzeh daite from your children. Chaminados, whatever it is. From your eggs, what you're going to eat in Shabbos, right? I was maktzeh daite. I'm not planning to eat it. So how could now I come and I come to visit you? I want you to give me a plate of children. So that's the same thing.
Soymech al shulchan.
Yeah. No, even without the soymech, right? should be mutter. Oh, so where is different? Rishonim explain, that's what Toisves, the Rashba, they explain as well. Isu Muktzeh, what we speak over here is Noilad. The Isu Muktzeh and Isu Noilad, there's no Chashash. The Beima is also growing a little bit on Yom Tov. Till you shechted the Beima, let's say Yom Tov came in 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're shechting it the next day only 12 o'clock. From 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday evening till Tuesday morning, Yom Tov, let's say Tuesday, 12 o'clock, the Beima is also growing a little bit, right? The Beima. The Beima is also growing a bit. So it's a Noilad in this, after Yom Tov came in, there's a Noilad. Masechet, right? There was not the Bein Hashmoshes. There was not the Bein Hashmoshes, this chelik was added on it. We didn't answer because of Noilad. That came Machmas Dianika. This Noilad, this new chelik came Machmas Dianika. As I was explaining, a lot of Rishonim, but there's a lot of different in the Rishonim. The Meiri, for example, the Meiri is a little bit easier. That's the choice over here, but as the Meiri says a little bit different. He says, even if they were matir to do, send Mishlach Mones to eat it on Yom Tov. He says it's not the same like a person sees something that lekatchile was me'arev and he wanted to take it, and yes, what he knew about this before. Okay, we can see the answer. We see also a little bit. That's going to help us. Yeah.
Can I just check? I mean, I get invited to somebody's house. I very much want to join in their food. I mean, that's he wants me to join in his food. I want to join in his food. Masha Ain't over here, in our case, they're deliberately being machalek. They should are separating themselves one from the other. So that's a good way. Is that fundamentally different?
But it's not. It doesn't become muktzeh.
I separate myself off from. I'm a shutuf with the other person. We cut off the animal. Our intention is, so to speak, to be separated from one another, which is a very different scenario from just stomachs or just two guests getting together or whatever it is.
Yeah, but Tosis is very simple on Rashi. Tosis is very, very simple on Rashi. Tosis comes and says that why should it be muktzeh? The money of your friend, something that belongs to your friend, becomes automatically muktzeh, and therefore Tosis. If you look over here, Tosis is like the kosher. I'm in the middle of Tosis. My nikas muktzeh yeshkan. Ve'aloi chelik chaveroi muto lo yiloecho limnos aloi chaveroi. Tomalel meshalch beyond the beim or chayav ben chaim ben shchutim. U'esar shabinu shmuel. He brings b'shem the Rashbam a different shot. Leisu muktzeh shabeimo gedeilo u'moisifo shamnumis beyond the asas lo lemeichash leochel. Yeah.
I'm saying the reason why our case is different over here is because they've deliberately been machalek themselves one from the other. It's very deliberate, explicit and act over here.
What the mechalik over here? Everyone is mechulek. Everyone is mechulek. Even in the beginning of Yom Tov, you're different than someone else.
I had a shutuf. I'm deliberately breaking the shutfas on Shabbos. Also, by doing that, I'm deliberately I'm maksa myself from his portion. He's maksa himself from my portion. Mashenk in all the other cases, nobody's deliberately doing anything to be maksa from one another. But this is the exceptional case, the unusual case.
What if Rav is going to be over here? Rav was going to be in. Because they're going to divide it, that's why it's more of a muktzah, but it's not shaykh muktzah and something that belongs to a friend. That's what exactly the question is. That's the question. He gave it to him, yeah.
After they divided, then they can give and don't come
Yeah, it's interesting what you're saying, and it could help also for Rabbein Shaila. There is a Ra'o. The Ra'o says an interesting teretz. It says, again, it fits a little bit more with the late on the sugya, so well, let's mention it now. He says that Be'emes, we say that also if there is a unique Ma'ada Adode, there's no issue of Muktzah. Why? He says because Avida Dosu. What means Avida Dosu? There's a Gemara. The Gemara, we all remember the Gemara in Shabbos, the Kuf Chofale from at base. The Gemara says, Tzoyas Koton. Tzoyas Koton is no Muktzah. Why? It was Noilad. Says the Gemara, no. Kevan de Avida Dosu. Right? inevitable will come. So daite person thing. Doctor, the Shamnunis, the of the Beime, what Tosh is called the Shamnunis, the Toshefes of the Beime, it's Avida Dasu, so there's no problem of Muktzeh. It's Daite Iluya. Oh, but Legabe, that's only Legabe Muktzeh. Legabe Tchumin, it doesn't help this Svara of Avida Dasu, and it also will be also. The Svara, I think, quite simple, why not? But let's leave the Svara Karega in the side and let's continue.
I don't need better work than my friend, that's the whole thing.
Yes, but
I think in this case, you said, look, the dance in the Danish Russians, he could have, at that point, any critic of him could have ended up in his.
yes.
Yeah, but you say, Lema Fair, he would cook the dance on the Danish
Oh, very
point.
good. And that's the pshat of the Yanika. That's the pshat of the Yanika, that's like the Meiri, yeah. That is the Yanika, exactly. Yeah, okay. Says the no. Says the Gemara, Shosik Rav, he didn't answer Rav Kahn and Ravasi, he didn't answer them anything. And on what they wanted them, and there's a few ways to understand what's the pshat that Rav was moida lichoyre. Says the Maya Valo, what's going to be the dim? Rabbi Ishi Omar, yesh breire. Because yesh breire, sai by meima, sai in the chovis, it's going to be mutter. What's the Yanika Sevorim? We're not choishes for Yanika Sevorim. Azoy al Rashi, why? Because Eralt that Rav was moida that there's no chashash of Yanika. And that's the reason he explains that the Pira Boishia, Sai Chovis, Sai Beim is going to be muta. That's Rashi out. The Rifal Beimo Lekule Alme is going to be also. The Kulam is going to be also because the Yanike and because Rav Altazai, when Rav came and kept quiet, it was not moida. Again, this depends on the Rishon what we said before. Says the Gemara, Ve Rabbi Yochanan Omar, Ein Rabbi Yochanan Omar, Yesh Breire, Rabbi Yochanan Omar, Ein Breire, Sai Chovis, Sai Beima will be also. What we said now in the name of Rabbi Yishia, Yesh Breire, right? We said in the Rabbi Yishia, Sova Rabbi Yishia, Yesh Breire. There's the Gemara Ve'otenan. This is a Mishnah what we learned before and already. Daf Yudalef. But let's again do a small Chazore and a small Hagdome. We find the Gemara Rabbi Yishia. We just understood the Rabbi Yishia Yesh Breire. Says the Gemara, you cannot say so. Why? Because we find Gabi Tumas oil. Now there's a Tumas oil miderabonon. What means Tumas oil in the Rabbonon? Tumas oil miderabonon. Lefi Beis Hillel there is din breira. In Rabbi Yishia explains the words of Beis Hillel in a case that's muchar that Rabbi Yishia himself out ein breira. What do I mean? It's like this. Agdome. Oil, but there is minator. What is the Tumas oil? The mess, a dead person who's under the same oil, under the same roof. And oil could be in different ways. Anything what's under tachat korat gagachat, under the same roof, all of them become tome shiva. Chachomim added another. That's minatoira. That's minatoira to masoil. Chachomim added another type of a tumah. Tumas oil midirabonon. What is that? Any kli, what's under the mashkoif, the door frame, the mashkoif, what eventually they will come and carry out the mess through that Pesach, and will also be done. What that means? Let's say we have a door, and the door closes. Now the door closes after so behind the door you still have the door frame. And over there, kli. So if the Pesach is open, the keli become possible. Why? Because the mashkoif, this door frame is still considered as part of the house. It's the hemshech of the oil. The gzeira de rabbanon is only when the door is closed, and the chelik of the mashkoif, this door frame is in the side, right behind when the door is closed. So the keli that's outside the door, they under the mashkoif. If the house, so they're gonna be tome because. So if Tumelot says, we say this is in the Rabbanah Tumasoy. This is Dafke when the house has one Pesach. Or if even it has one Pesach. What if the house as of a day, a house has a mess, and there's a number of doors, there's a number of windows, there's a number of doors, and each and one of them could be they will eventually take out the mess through that door. What's going to be the thing? So if the second the mess decided, died, or even later on, they decided we're going to take it out from that door, a certain door. So Chacham didn't say that there's going to be a tumah in all of the psachim. So that is going to be only that door is going to be tummy, right? If all of them are closed, yeah. If they're open, that's it's the hemshech of doyen. If they are closed, so you have 10 doors, 9 are closed, and the 10 are closed. One of the 10 I decided is going to, right? I was meyached. I said I'm going to take it up to that one. And also, let's say he was not meyached. He was not meyached. He didn't decide I'm going to take it out after this Pesach, a Pesach Mesuyam. Just what? One of the psachim of the house was actually open. So we have 10, 9 out of 10 were closed, 1 was open. So the rest of them are not going to be tummy, only the one that's open. The one that's open becomes tummy with the Raisa. Why? Because the Pesach that's open, that's the Pesach, that's how we call it, Meyur. That's the Pesach that the world mess go out of there. So they didn't do Gzeira Tumeh on the ones that under the other psachim. What's the din if we didn't yet decide? Let's see the Mishnah answer. Ve'otnan. We learned the Masechet Soales in Perek Zayin Mishnah Gimel. Hames babais veloi. That means the bais has psachim arbe. Now all of the psachim all of the doors are open, or all of them are closed. Kulon Tameim. If they're all open, all of them are tamei midoi raise. And if it's all of them are closed, it's going to be tamei miderabonon. Yeah, it's all of them closed. All of the Tomei Rabbanon. Why? Because then each one of the psachim could be that what? I will take it out. Second thing says the Mishnah. What about after the mess died inside the house? Niftach opened up Echod Ben, one of the doors. Who Tomei? Davke, this Pesach that's open as possible. Tomei. And it's Tomei Mina Teire, right? Because it's open. Aber Vekulon, the rest of the doors, why? They don't metame even with the Rabbanon, because the Pesach that's open, he's the Pesach, as we call that, meyu'od lo itzoas ameis. The kelim that's under the mashkif and the rest of the psachim, after opened up one Pesach, there's no machlokes going to be toy. Why? Because now we know that we're going to take out the mess through which Pesach, the open one. But the kelim that are in the psachim, the shas, let's say Mise, till the Sha'as Psichas HaPesach. We had this, we said in the Agdome, we had 10 doors, and the mess died. 2 hours till later, all the Psachim were closed. All 10 were closed. Mida Rabbanon, all of them were tummy, the Keli. All of the 10 door frames, anything that was over there was tummy. Then, after 2 hours, they decided they opened up one of the doors. No, they opened up one of the doors. They were miya'id that this door will be the one that goes out of the mess goes out through that door. All of the kelim become toil, and this becomes Tomei Midei Raisa, right? Between Shas Misas Hames, the Shas Psichas HaPesach, right? What's going to be the deal? But here we come to Machlokes Beisham and Beis Hillel. If it's Tomei, why? Because at the time when all of the psachim are closed, so it's mitzad the suffix, maybe the mess is going to go out of it or not. And that's what we're speaking about. Okay, says the Mishnah weiter, a third din in the Mishnah. The third din in the Mishnah is what if all of the psachim were closed? And he didn't actually open it. Now we come to a new chiddush. He just thought on the mess to take out through one of the psachim. You was thought to take out the mess through the chaloin sheyesh b'yarbo al arbo. That means that Pesach has arbo tvachim al arbo tvachim, and that's the minimum. Yeah, that's the minimum shir of a Pesach for the gabe itzas mess. Matzeles al kol apsochim kulon. That his machshove to take out the mess of one of the psachim to be matzil midei tumas oil midei rabbanon on all, right? All of them. Bitnai that all of the psachim are closed. Yeah. Now, lefi the Gemara assumption is the Gemara assume that there's a machlokes Beisham and Beis Hillel. What's the din of the kelim that were there b'shar psachim between the Shas HaMiseh to the shore when he thought to take out the Pesach to take it out through a certain Pesach? Yeah, we said it took him 2 hours. The mess died. All of the 10 psachim were closed. He didn't think anything. He didn't open anything. He didn't think anything. Later, 2 hours later, he's made up his mind. Okay, I'm taking it out. Yena Pesach. What's going to be the din? In between. in between these 2 hours. Taharas Kelim, there was in the rest of the Psochim, it depends on the night. Before he died, he already intended, thought that he's going to take it out from a certain Pesach, from Pesach Mesuyam. Also, after the mess died, he thought that he's going to take it out for Pesach Mesuyam. Even after he died, all of the kelim that were on the mashkef of the rest of the doors of the Pesach, of the gates over there, afilu, they were not there at the time, but he didn't think about the Pesach, it's going to be Torah. The Gemara assumes now that there was a machloek b'sham b'silel, breire. If when he thought he's going to take it out through a Pesach Mesuyam, so we say, that this Pesach was always meyued for Yitzhak Ameis, and as I Beisilel. So we didn't do a gzere, right? Chachon didn't do gzere tume on the kelim that were beforehand, and the rest of the psokim. Or no, we don't say Huva Dover Lemafreya that this Pesach was meyued for Yitzhak Ameis. Oibasoi, Ad Meishamai, and that what Meishamai are saying that we don't say Huva Dover Lemafreya. All of the kelim there will be tomei at the time after the when you decided to make up your mind to take it out for Pesach Mesuyam, one of the psochim. That's what the Gemara assumes now that the Machloek b'Sham Yisrael yesh breira ein breira. Ve'itmar alo, we learned on this Mishnah, we learned the Beitza. Omar Rav Oishi comes to explain. The Machloek b'Sham Yisrael is not if yesh breira ein breira. Just what? Letaras hapsochim mikanu le'abo. Lefi Yisrael, from when he decided on a Pesach Mesuyam, all of the psochim became Torah. Lefi Beishamai, because we said there is a Tiras Tumah Midarabonon. You're right, Tiras Tumah Midarabonon on the psochim from when? From the second that the person died over there. Sublimed, also after he thought, also after his machshava to take out the mess through a certain Pesach, it doesn't vanish, it doesn't go away. It's not mistalek. Before you, when you open the door, then it's going to be mistalek. Over machshava is not mistalek. And where's Muchach that from Rav Oishi that only came that went into the psochim mikanu le'abo is going to be metam. It says mikanu le'abo in, then they're going to be Torah. Oba lemafreya to be metar the kelim. That's what he was before he actually made up his mind. Lo, it's not going to help us over the machshava. As we said, these few hours in between when the mess died till he made up his mind where to take it out, it's not going to help. When we don't say Huva Adon Afreya, the army, I wanted to take it out the mess from that Pesach. We don't say it. What do you see from there? That lefi Rav Oishi ein breira. We don't say, oh, lefi Rav Oishi yesh breira. Because if lefi Rav Oishi yesh breira, say also lemafreya. Why Rav Oishi comes and say that the machloek is only mikanu le'abo? After he made up his mind, yeah, he just thought, yeah, let's say the mess died 10 o'clock in the morning. 12 o'clock, he decided I wanted, and there's 10 doors of air all closed, and each and one of them have kelim on the other side of the door under the mashkoif. There will be Tommy with the Rabbanon. Lefi Beisilel, once he decided on 12 o'clock, yeah, he decided he wants to take it out from one Pesach, it will be Torah. What's the pshat? It will be Torah. So the Gemara in the beginning understands it will be Torah, everything from when? From 10 o'clock already. Why? When you say Huva Adol Afreya, he always planned to take it out through that Pesach. But Beishamai say, if he just thought to take it out 12 o'clock from one Pesach, it's not going to help. Once you open up the door, then it's going to help. Says Rav Oishi, no, that's not the machlokes. Everyone agrees. Yeah, everyone agrees that from when you thought, then it's going to help. That's what Beishamai say. Rav Oishi says no. What you thought? Everyone's asking Adkan. If definitely will be Tommy. Beishamai say it's not going to help just to think I want to take it out to a Pesach. I have to actually open up the Pesach. They say it's enough to think. But what do you see for Rav Oishi? Ein breira. How can you want to say that Rav Oishi out yesh breira? Mikoyach de shaile. The Gemara changes the view of Rav Oishi. The Gemara says, "Eipuch." I'm going to change. Rav Oishi Omar ein breira. Rabbi Yochanan Omar yesh breira. And both of them are going to be mutar. By the Gemara, now you change the Amiroim. Umi he said Rabbi Yochanan breira. Rabbi Yochanan al breira. Ve'omar Abasi Omar Rabbi Yochanan achin shecholku. Brothers who divided now, Karkois, yeah, they got the Karka from Yerusha from the father. Lekuchosim. They are now, we look at them as Lekuchos. Keilu, they bought from each other because could be that one, and there's big enough communities of the thing. It's like a derech mekachomemker, it's not a derech Yerusha. And because they're lekuchos, and then we're going to have to divide again every yovel from the beginning. What do we see? That we don't say Hubra Adon Mafriya when they divided the Chalukah. Oh, well, this always belonged to me. If they're lekuchos, it means there's no breira. If there is Achish Cholku Yorshilim, that means breira. There was 10 brothers. The father died. Each one got his chelek. If I say it's breira, that this was always belonged to that brother. But if I say ein breira, no, they're lekuchos. And that's swapping. Could be what Reuven does not belong to Shimon, and what Shimon got does not belong to Levi, and Levi to Yehuda. Just they swapping. It's also a type of a mekach. So you see, the Rabbi Yochanan ain't breira. And if you're going to tell me that's boss, ki les le breira and Rabbi Yochanan breira, that's dafke b'day raise. Example, the Gabi going back in Yovel and Binatayre. They do have to give back the kalkos to the Bailim and Yovel. So there's no breire can negate the din chazorah of Yovel that's minatayre. Aval ben Rabbanon. For example, the Isur Tchumin is only the Rabbanon Istay. Maybe there is breire in the Rabbanon. Nochal shver. What's a shver? Shver is from a mefurashe Mishten Eiruvim. The Mishnah sagt das. We remember all the Mishten Masne Odom Alei Ruvay. That means Masne Odom Alei Ruvay means a person puts down the Eruv on the south and also on the north. So he puts down two Eruvei Tchumin in two different directions. Two Eruvei Tchumin in two different directions. Soif Alpay Mamo leMizrach Beisoy and Soif Alpay Mamo leMayrav Beisoy. And he makes it night. Masne Ve'oima. That's what we said over there in the Mishnah. Masne Odom Alei Ruvay. He does it night. What he says, that's what we mentioned yesterday. Im Yovoy Chochem Min HaMizrach. So I want that when Shekidash Hayoim, my Eruv will be the Mizrach. Because I want to go listen to the drosha of the Rav. If the Chacham will come le Mayrav, my Eruv should be le Mayrav, and then I can go. If it will come to Chachomim, Eruv on the Mizrach on the Mayrav, he could make it night le Mokom She'er Tzeilich. And if the Chacham did not come, lo le Kaveloka, he cancelled the last minute. So he's Kibnei Iri that he has Alpay Mamo lechol ruach. Why? Because we say yesh breira. Huvra dovel mafriya that b'shor shekidash hayoy. That means Shabbos came in, and what eruv we actually wanted to use. Huvra dovel. The chacham we found out only after Shabbos, after the davening they banged and they said the Rav will give the shir in Mizrach or the Rav will give the shir in Ma'arev. Huvra dovel mafriya. That's what it was. Shekidash. It's not good. That's what they wanted. Over the Rabbanon, mi Islay, and the Rabbanon, there is a Rab from Breira Rabbi Yochanan. Also, so Tchum in the Rabbanon, we find that Rabbi Yochanan says, "Hey Breira, why?" Botani Ayoy. Ayoy is the name of a Chacham. Rabbi Yude Oimer. Ein Odom Masne Al Shvei Dori Kechot. A person cannot come and put two different Eruvin, as we said in the Mizrach and in Ma'arev, when he doesn't know when the Chacham is going to come from, and to say, "In Yavoy Shnei Chachomim Lamokin She'er Tzeilich," he can't do it. Elo. He said that what? On one Chacham you could do it. In Bo Chacham leMizrach, Eruvin leMizrach. And leMayrev, Eruvin leMayrev. Lekan lekan. No, you can't say why. You can't say it because ein breira. And when it's Kidash Hayoim, we don't know which Eruv is going to use. We don't know which Eruv was the Koine Shvisa with Kidash Hayoim. So you see that what? There's no breira. Says the Gemara Ve'avinem Bodaf Lametches Amedalem. Ma'ishno lekan lekan deloy. Why, when we come and say the person wants to do tonight, Sai Mizrach, Sai Ma'arev doesn't work. Why not? They ain't breire. Oy bazoi Mizrach or Ma'arev nami ain't breire. We should also say Mizrach or Ma'arev also. Huva Doro, Kidash Hayoim, the Chacham will come from that side. No, it could be that the Chacham is not going to come, not here, and not there. He's going to cancel. Alatzah that he's not going to come bichlal. He said that what Areni Keraglei or Bnei Iri, right? Kum tois b'shor shekidash hayoim. He didn't know if the eruv will be chal. So the whole chalois of the eruv depends on what and the biru that will be tomorrow. And we 1 second we just said ein breira. We just said ein breira. As I explained, Rashi and Eruvin and Tosis over here. Yeah, that's the pshat over there. Rashi over here says a little bit different than if you look at Rashi. Tosis frekt of Rashi. Right? Tosis frekt of Rashi. So we explain like Rashi, what's a little bit easier to understand. Rashi and Eruvin and Tosis over here. So we have a question. We just said to explain. Also, the Mizrach Umayrev, a person could not come and say, Yovi Chochan the Mizrach, Yeru the Mizrach, Yovi the Mayrev, Yeru the Mayrev. It doesn't help Eruv. When? It's talking about Ukvar Bo Chochan. When it was Kiddush Hayoim, the Chochan is here. I just have a lack of Yediyah. Ich weiß nicht. I don't know. That's the reason I can make it tonight. I can make it tonight. I say, because in the Metzias is clear. The Metzias is existing when I actually coin the Eruv. I just don't know. But it's existing. Alme, what we see over here, Alme says the Gemara, how can you say that Rabbi Yochanan is the one that says Legabi Beiman Chovis Ein Breire? We see over here that Rabbi Yochanan says there is a Breire. So from this Shaila says the Gemara, we can't say Epuch, and Amiroy says that they have Machlokes and Chovis and a thing from the Shutfin, and fine for the steer in Rabbi Yishi, and says Legabi Chovis and Beiman and the Shutfin is Breire, and Legabi the Pesach of the Mess, we said Rabbi Yishi says Ein Breire, and we're going to have to answer it differently. Because we have a steer in Rabbi Yishi from Chovis and Beiman to Pesach of a Mess. Elo le'oilom, loy Tepuch. And yes, actually, Rabbi Yishi, he's the one to say Legabi Chovis and Beiman Shutfin, yes, Breire. Afal Biken, there's no question from a Pesach bais from a mess. Why? That means a Pesach bais. Pesach bais of a mess, that's doiraisa. And what's pshat in doiraisa? So Rashi says, doiraisa kegoin tumas mes les lebreire. Derech yetzi also aloch leMoshe Sinai. Now when the Masechet, the ilchos tume or chekmirelo. And that's what Rashi says also in Eruvin, this sugi and that Samachez, that din soif tu melotis is alocha leMoshe Sinai. Yeah, that's what Rashi says over here. Rashi and Eruvin. The problem is, if you remember what we mentioned, that Yudom Med Aleph, right? If you look at Rashi, that Yudom Med Aleph, by us, Yudom Med Aleph, Dimo Amaschil, Kulon Tmeim, on the wide line on Yudom Med Aleph. What says Rashi? Kol Keli Amunochim Mechalal Apsochim Tachas Oibiak Tikro. That's the Rafa Fisher in Tachas Agaga Maila Lameshe. Gozru Chachomim Tume. 1 second, it's Aloch Moshe Sinai, no? Gozru Chachomim Tume Al Mokom Shuderch Yetzias Atume Shesoif Elot Zederch Shom. If you look in the Gillian, Agois Marweirino Arav Rebo Ranshbuk over here on the side, the fact is dort with the few Domed Aleph. He says, Dr. Teres, look over there. Yeah. So if, Liron, that's what you meant there. Says the Gemara, Elo le'olam, lo tepuch. You just what? When you say there's no dafke when breire de rabbonon, the reise, aval be de rabbonon, for example, Trumin, Easter, Rabbi Alter, Doash Marzutra, Lochke, Rabbi Omar Shmuel, social pattern, that's a reich up noch a stickel, and then we can see. So the Gemara. Omar Shmuel. Social pattern. What means a pattern? A pattern is the person that he stuffs the in order to sell them, right? So he's the mefatem. Pattern, he's the mefatem. He takes the shvorim and he's mefatem, the fattening them because he wants to sell them. Anyone who goes to buy it, because they go, right? Yom Tov, there's ways how to sell on Yom Tov, as we learned before in the Mishnayos. So he can take it wherever he wants. Because the darko shel pattern is to sell it. So from yesterday, when the pattern put it over there in the reshus of this person that comes to buy it, is right. Even if you finish it's al shem osid, you go in that thing. Says the Gemara. Shor shel roye. Roye is someone who just megadel beimos. Sometimes he's selling his beimos. Hareyu keragle or Rashi is anshei or yisoyer. That means if he bought this, right? Let's say one of the anshei, one of the bnei bought it. So you can take it only inside the tchum of the ir. Even if the roy himself came and done an eruv, let's say to Tzafon, or the Mizrach, or the Dorim, or the Ma'arev, the buyer cannot take this more than the tchum ir. Because yesterday, Shekidash Hayoim, the roy, right? The Rashus Lekeach is bnei ir. It's a bnei ir, but they can't take from him. But if he bought it, right, this one from a different city, you cannot take it b'chlal. Because the roya doesn't have over there, right, any ashpon that the bnei. Log the Gemara. Ashoyel, we learned in the Mishnah. Hashoyel kli mechaveru me'erev yontev. So he said what it goes, keraglei hashoyel. Says the Gemara pshit, says the Gemara lo yitziche, our mishas v'chadesh, that what? Shaloi mosro lo elo beyomtev. And from erev yomtev, he didn't come and borrow him anything, just what? He told him, yeah, I will take it, but he didn't do the meshicha on yomtev. What's the chidush? Ma'u de teime. Labil shesayu, where that means the mashil didn't give it to the reshus of the shoyel, because he didn't yet the shoyel do the meshicha. So it's keraglei hamashil and not keraglei hashoyel. For mashma lo na'u mishta, what? It's keraglei hashoyel because he promised him that I'm going to give it to you, I'm going to lend it to you, it's going to be good. Mesayalei au mishta le Rabbi Yochanan do Rabbi Yochanan hashoyel kli mechaver me'erev yontev. That means he didn't do yet the Masechet, because he promised him, and that's going to help over here, even on Yom Tov. We learned in the Mishnah, Yom Tov, that means if someone is showing on Yom Tov, you just said now that I feel a bit dibul, right? Only with dibul from, right? Where of Yom Tov, the dibul, right? The ratio we said that what is Keragle Hashoyel, it was so pshita, that the what is going to be kohen the kelim, the mashil, that was by him when it was Kiddush Hayom. It was Mamash Kiddush Hayom. And for the Gemara lo yitziche, the rogel v'shoyel minei. That means this person always comes to borrow things. There was a Kiddush. Ma'u that they b'shus komoikim lei. That means the mashil comes and he's ma'ami the b'shus of the shoyel. Miboid yoy, because that's the regilus from Ashalom from our Mishnah, because he didn't yet ask him the shoyel miboid yoy. Right? He didn't ask the mashil. Right? He just when he came in Yom Tov to borrow it. Maybe he found the mashil is saying, oh, where's this person? He always comes. Every Yom Tov he comes to ask me for the knife. What happened now? He always comes to ask me for the whatever it is, yeah? What happened now? He said, oh, maybe he found someone else. So it was not bedai to actually, the mashil to give it to the shoyel. We learned in the Mishnah, right? Over there it's talking about the tavlin and mayim. For the dough. So we said it's keragli shteyen. Okay. This sugya, we're going to keep from Moti Shabbos. I just want to give you a akdor for this sugya. The Kilisankin says on this sugya, that's minas sugyos a'amumois bashas. The last one we spoke about, we spoke about the evening share, we spoke about it. The akdor met our parents, we said it's a thing. There's a few ways to explain away the next sugya.
Was he saying Sugyas Hammer?
Amumois bashas. Unclear sugyas. Amumois. Not so clear.
Hazy.
Yeah. So there's a few girsos of it. There's a girsa of the Balamoil, the girsa of the Meiri, what's a little bit easier. If he does girsa of the Meiri, it's much easier. So we might come and use it on Moti Shabbos. We use the Meiri to make it a little bit thing. And we can do all the girsos. Moti Shabbos we have time. It's already getting earlier. So we could have a good few hours shield to understand all the girsos. We can see. But Metz Hashem. Okay, so we're going to stop over here because we're not going to go now into this sugya. Okay, we're a bit behind, but this Nishkin like the sugyas. That's it. That's the last difficult sugya in Beitza. And then we're going to see next week. See him on Sunday. We're gonna finish on Sunday. Finish on Sunday, yes. Yes, okay.
No,
just run it.
we'll finish on Sunday.
Yeah, we could finish on Sunday. We have to show Moti Shabbos. We try to finish on Sunday. I have see him on Sunday, yeah. Or we can speak about Moti Shabbos. Speak about Moti Shabbos. What's
Go ahead.
Okay, let's speak about the second. And this, the Geder Din, as Stevie reminded us a few days ago, that the Geder of the Iraisa we pass in Ein Breira. The Rabbanon, we do say Yesh Breira. Right? The Gemara says Maya ve'alot. The Gemara brings down Rabbi Shia. The Gemara says Rabbi Shia Omar Yesh Breira. Umutev Rabbi Yochanan Omar Ein Breira. Right? Also, the Gemara v'Sova Rabbi Shia Yesh Breira. It's the Maskone Kiles the Breira. That means the Rabbi Shia. Right? Be the Iraisa Avol be the Rabbanon, says the Gemara. Right? Avol be the Rabbanon Islay. That means when we talk about a chovis, the whole shaila here is a derabbanon. Tchumin is the Rabbanon. Over here we say yesh breira is going to be muta. But when the din of soif tu melot says, so we said the stira be'en Rashi. Rashi says halacha l'moishim Sinai. Right? The Torah we say ein breira. What's the chiluk? The Raisa and the Rabbanon. Why? And this is a din. It's not dafket our sugya. It's every sugya in the Shas. What we say, if we take especially the Gemara in Giti, many sugyas in Shas. Whenever we say the din of breira, why the Raisa the din of Kaimelon? That what the Raisa. The Rabbanon yesh breira. Why?
Here is different to other places. I was going to say before I started. I was wondering
about
the
I want to speak stam beklolius. I want to speak stam beklolius, as we like to bring something that the whole
sometimes the Rabbanon are making. They've got the Rabbanon are making certain things, but here is not a question of kula b'chlal. Here is a question of like we said before. It's a very difficult idea of yesh breira. We do something which does make sense really. So the Rabbanon, the Rashi doesn't work. It means it's not such a yesh breira. It doesn't exist yesh breira.
One second. I want to say a different answer, and then to go back to what you say because it's a little bit of a shaila. That means let's go very classic. Teretz is a very I don't know if it's so long, but there's a Kenes Yankev. The Kenes Yankev, the Steibler wants to say it's not over here. It's in Gittin. And Gittin in Siman Yutes. The Kenes Yankev Zok Tazay. He says. It doesn't mean the Raisa Ein Breira. It doesn't mean that Ein Breira does mean it's not Chal Bichlal. This is Tam. And the Rishonim we have, when we say Ein Breira, we say Ein Breira. And let's take the classic case of Ein Breira, yeah? Let's say Ein Breira Erev Shabbos, he buys a barrel of wine, not give my demai, drink. He leaves in the end. Shnei Lugish Ani Osi Le'afrish, this, that this was always the Trumas of Maises. Yeah, that's the classic case of Breira. Yeah, that's a classic case. So let's say that case. That means it was not ein breira. That means it was not chal bichlal. Or it was chal and we have a suffix. What means ein breira? Says the case, not all the Rishonim go, but says the case, the Raisa doesn't mean ein breira, it's not chal bichlal. Just what? It's chal over here, chalois, but he called it chalois mesupekes. So something that's also misofek. That's the chilik, the Raisa, the Rabbanon. So the Raisa lechumre, and that's why ein breira. So the Rabbanon lekule. And as I explained it also in the Rambam, and the Rambam in Gerushin, in Perek Gimel Aloch Daled, but the Rambam is also mashmazay. That's what the Kenes Yankev says. Very geschmack to explain this way of ein breira, because we say this.
But here it can't be sofek. If it's sofek, it's dov shesh material. If it's sofek, so it can't be a sofek. If it's sofek, material.
Let's bring the thing. Before you said a different time, I want to go back to your first time.
No, don't say the don't is balabos. Don't say even if how can you drink it? Because you are balabos on the material, and you can decide that what's left behind. That's it's a different. But midorais is much.
Let's go back. Let's go back 1 second. Let's go back a second. When we come and say, I want to talk some in general about yesh breira, not dafke over here and think over here, legabe chochem, legabe seiftu melotes, legabe gitim we speak about, legabe trumas amaisres, all of these things. There's a yam shloime. The yam shloime in Babekame, in Perek Yisrael Ches, it said that in the Raisa in breira it's not chal bichlal. So you can't understand the svar of the Kenes Yankev. So why the Rabbanon yesh breira? The Rabbanon will make it to say yesh breira. What's a nafkemina? The nafkemina is a lot of nafkeminas. If it's going to help breira and muktzeh. Because what we learned, if you remember, we learned not so long ago in Daf Chof Daled, right? Daf Chof Daled, we said that sofek muktzeh, we go lechumre. Right? We learned in the Mishnah, that's what we mentioned over there, the what mentions the Tosishonim in Daf Gimel. Over there it says in the Mishnah, sofek muchon osu. And the reason why we are machmir on a sofek muktzeh is because, because it's a main the Raisa, or as Rabbi Tzvik just said, double shesh matirin. And we spoke quite long about it, right? This depends exactly on what we said. If the reason of yesh breira and the Rabbanon is because Sovek the Rabbanon lekule muktzeh, we don't go lekule because it's fake lechumre. Is a doy Raisa. But lefi the Maharsha, lefi the Yam Shloime, that be'emet the didn't be the Rabbanon yesh breira. So also muktzeh, we can go lekule. Also muktzeh. Now, let's go back what Rabbi Tzvik says, and I want to be serious to this because it's very interesting. Do we say we have to be done as it? What's going to be the din in breira the Rabbanon? Or did the Rabbanon we say breira? And the case that we say that the breira is going to be lechumra. If we say breira and the Rabbanon, we're going to go lechumra. Do we say also then yes breira lechumra? Or we say no? Yes breira the Rabbanon is only lekule, not lechumra. But there is, we say, let's speak about a case that's going to be easier to understand. There's a case that's brought down the Shagasaria. The Shagasaria and Simon Tzadi. Shagasaria and Simon Tzadi is Dr. Zoy. A case, a Yid and a Goy. They were shutfin in Chometz. They have a shutfus and a loaf of bread. Over a Pesach on this Chometz. They had a loaf of bread. They didn't sell it to a Goy. They were shutfin. Now comes after Pesach. They notice, we had over there a loaf of bread and Chometz over a loaf of Pesach. After the Pesach, they decided, you know what? I'm not interested to be any more a partner of this guy. Let's do the Chalukah. No, the Chaluk of the guy is going to be mutter, right? You can't answer it because Chometz over all of Pesach. Given by a guy. Chometz over all of Pesach is also with the Reise or with the Rabbanon. With the Rabbanon, right? Shema, Chometz over all of Pesach is only also with the Rabbanon. What's the deal with the Chaluk of the Yid? Do we say yes, Breire? So then we're going to answer because this Chaluk was always the Israel. Kumtois Asidor Chometz of Israel Shovar Al Pesach and it's also. We say yes, Breire. But if we say that Ein Breire in the Rabbanon, right? If we say Ein Breire, so it's going to be Sofek Chometz Shovar Al Pesach. Sofek Chometz Shovar Al Pesach. It's mutter. Mutter be'anoy, yeah. Mutter be'anoy. Kumtois and Afkamine. Legabe, if we say lechumra, and that's going to be another nafkamina between the two. So if you say that yesh breira is because sofik derabon lekule, in this case, other rabbi, we can say ein breira is sofik derabon lekule. But if we say that the rabbanon there is a breira bevadai, no, I don't know. We're going to have to think about it. What's going to be the din? Breira lechumra. If you go the rabbanon lechumra, fine. So think about it. This is exactly what we were talking about. Fine.
To me, I feel in the Chumra, Rabbanon allowed Breire to work. Rabbanon allowed Breire to work in their restrictions.
Oh, why?
Because they're allowed, they're allowed to work. They're allowed it to.
He's gerecht, and that's exactly what a pesha osa. What do you mean?
I'm using.
No, that's exactly the
say also something. They're allowed. They're allowed Breire, but Breire. You can see if the Reise doesn't work. You see Breire doesn't work. If the Reise doesn't work, it means there's no such thing as Breire. It's a theoretical. It's not a practical. It's a theoretical idea.
So you're saying like the Yamshish Loy, man? That's two avonas. It's two avonas in the Rishonim. How we misjach is the Yashbreir anyway, right? Just I always bring in the Gedaik of Yashbreir. Yeah.
And
that's the chiluk between the Reise and the Rabbanon, and there's the Ran. This is a big thing. The Ran already. The Ran and Gittin and Chofei. The Ran says that the Sofik the Reise, if we pass in Ein Breire, so we go back to the klal of Sofik the Reise lechum, Sofik the Rabbanon lekule. The Kinesiaga betzem liegt schon in Ran. I mean, yeah. Because
the Reise says not only because it's a Sofik, it works.
Yeah. And komt uit Lefidem, that the dim the Reise Ein Breire will be depends on the machlokes the Rambam and the Rashba. If something the Reise lechum, it's midat Torah. Is the Rambam says it's only midat Rabbanon, right? If the Rambam something the Reise lechum is only midat Rabbanon. Or minim Torah, also the Reise we say yes Breire. If the Rashba that it's something the Reise lechum is midat Torah lechum, komt uit midat Torah. There is no Breire. We can depend on
why should be something with if you know Ryan in the Torah that is against Breire, why should you say it's a suffix with the right? Because the Svara of Breire is so difficult.
That's the Ran. We saw it more mevuer in the
It's so difficult. I'm asking to understand what if you don't have Svara with the right and no Ryan with the right is to the principle of Yesh Breire is such a difficult one. How can you say the right should work?
In the right we say Ein Breire. Why Ein Breire? It's anyway because Sofik the Reise lechumra, right? And that's what we say.
No suffix. There's no suffix here. It's no suffix. If you need something to pre.
But you're going back again to the Marshal. I'm not going.
No, I'm saying to be difficult to understand. I'm
going back to the Marshal.
I'm saying I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand and the Kish Yaakov. I don't know. I'm trying to understand.
Let's go back in the thing in the Yesoid. The Yesoid is two havonas in Ein Breire. If we say Ein Breire, that means it's not chal bechlal. It's going with nish. Or we say Ein Breire, it's not chal suffix. So you don't time like Ein Breire is not chal bechlal. It's going.
I'm trying to understand. I'm not saying. I'm trying to understand this word to say the topic. Why?
Why not? I don't know. Because let's take away, I can tell you why, because let's take away the barrel, yeah? The barrel of wine, it's the Erev Shabbos, he didn't meiser it yet. And he says, Shani Osi le'afrish, right? It leaves over there 2 lugin in the end. Could be actually that these 2 lugin are actually, yes, the 2 lugin that were like at Chilik towards the meisters. It's very easy to remember. It's a Sovik. It doesn't quite far-fetched.
I had to do something.
You can't say, but you can't say that the letzte 2 lugin. You can't say.
How can be? And after he said it, like I said, I was thinking about Be'emen. It depends what the vibe. If you said the Yenika makes it because it's not shaykh to be Erev Shabbos to be mevarer, memeli it can't be shaykh on Shabbos. And other things you can be mevarer if you wanted to. There was a potential to mevarer, but Be'emen is not potential. But say that's one thing. But if you say because you stam like others say Yenika, it moves from one to another. Somebody says and then he takes the barrel or shutfim and he shakes the barrel. He mixes everything up. So whatever was there was there. It's also you can have the mixing of the wine 100 times mixed between when he said it to not that and after no what other this was that it wasn't that. Well at the bottom, what was at the bottom Erev Shabbos, like the Masechet. He said what also happens. When bottom was Erev Shabbos, he mixed up 100 times. So the bottom was the bottom. It's not trying to say like this. It's more of a method rather than a fact. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's not the thing. I get that. The shaila is what I think a better shaila, what you asked before. And let's say on this guy, let's say we know with double sheish matirin, also something that Rabbanon we call a chumrah. Right? We know Daf Daled Amud Aleph. We just learned it. Masechet Beitza Daf Daled Amud Aleph. So it should be Mider Rabbanon Ein Breira.
That's what I said. This is never a problem for me because Rabbanon can do whatever they like. They say
No, but
Yesh Breira they create. They create a Yesh Breira as
it's not the thing. There is certain klolim, yeah.
Yeah, but Chachamim made Yesh. If you say Yesh Breira, you created a matzav of a new matzav of Abada.
Again, you're only going with not Chal, but if we're going at Yesh Breira with the Rabbanon because it's a Sofek, that's why Yesh Breira lekule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's because of Sofek. It's not that the Rabbanon were metak. It's not that the Konek.
Yeah, it's Sofek.
It's Breira is a Sofek, and it's a Sofek. The Rabbanon. So with lekule we say Yesh Breira. But we know that the Rabbanon, the double sheish matirin, mafilu sovik the Rabbanon, we are machmir, as we learned before, and then Daf Daled Amud Aleph. So it should be also here, achmir. But it's not like heim tiknu ve'eim omru ve'eim omru. It's not shaykh to say it.
You say by this pshat the Rabbanon weren't metaking Yesh Breira. It's mechal mitzvah sofik mechal.
Yeah, it's not mitzad the takone what the metak is. It's mitzad the sofik, as we said. Mitzad the sofik. We had the sofik. So with the Rabbanon lekule, so with the reise the chumrah. Right. We say the Gomel. I go to Shikoyach.
Yeah, maybe it's a sticky different Yesh Matirin in the normal Matirin or the Matirin from Yesh Breira. Because Yesh Breira Pshat was never also. Yesh Matirin Pshat now is definitely also, but it's a Matir later on, Yesh Matirin. Here, you say, no, we are looking at something with Mutter, Misofek. Definitely, we know definitely something in Mutter, we don't know which part. Yeah, okay, the same.
Don't know which part is also. So maybe Lefit Tzlach, you're right. Lefit Tzlach, we can find. That's what we know.
Okay, good.